Um, I put on my Insta stories, you guys. This is our Gold Diggers phone call. It is October 21st, the eve before my birthday. This is the best way to roll into this coming week. I'm super excited. So many blessings that we have, you guys. And what I love is that we are going to grow by one more. And it's not the official announcement, but Allison from our team will be joining us as a coach. And I'm super freaking pumped because Allison is part of our tribe. And I'm very excited. And what really got her to kind of get in here and fill out my coaching application was um, she just said, you didn't quit on me. You kept believing that I could do this, even when I thought you were crazy and I didn't have enough time to do it. She goes, I still don't even know if I have time to do it, but I'm going to try and I'm going to do this. She goes, I see what it's doing for you. And I was like, yes, because I want people to have the opportunity to fight for what they want. And somebody said last week, they were like, it's not that my life is bad, right? And I agree. Like, it's not that my life is bad. I wake up every day. I have my kids. I have a job. I have this job that I'm really trying super hard to transition and make this the job, for my family. But what I don't like is that I have fallen into the mundane life of how our world works. I don't want to pick up my son and my daughter at 6:30 at daycare. I don't want to be the 6:30 mom anymore running to daycare. I don't want to be the mom that says I can't go volunteer at my kid's school because I have to be at the salon. I don't want to be the mom that has to work every other Saturday because that's just how we have to do it. I'm so used to it. And again, none of those things are wrong. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, it's not wrong. I just don't want it anymore. Like, I don't want it anymore. And tonight, as soon as John gets over here, I'm going to share part of mine, and then we're going to share kind of we. And it's funny because he literally had no idea he was doing this. I put my announcement that he was going to be like the guy for our call, and I was like, oh, and by the way, you're going to be part of our team call. And he was like, what do I have to talk about? I was like, really? We're just going to talk. I don't really like to script things. I don't like to like map out. I really like to be super organic. I mean, even at my sister's wedding, when I had to speak, I just winged it. I didn't write. I just talked, and it just comes better for me. That's just how I work. So, one of the reasons why I became a coach, and I really want us to all connect with the why, because when you can connect with the why, it will make you do things with this business that you wouldn't necessarily do. For instance, I was so connected to my why this week that I went over to my mom. This is not saying you have to do this, but this is just how driven I was. It was 10 p.m. on Thursday night, and I went to my mom's house and worked for 2 hours because I needed to get away from my house. I needed to get my invites. I wanted to connect. I wanted to build. And I know that I have to show up. Now, I'm not saying you have to work at 10 p.m., but that's just the way my day fell. And I was so connected that I was like, I'm going to my mom's and I'm going to close myself in her spare bedroom and I'm just going to work and I'm just going to connect and I'm going to prep and I'm going to get myself ready. But tonight is all about the stories, okay? And I really want you guys to connect to your stories. And I want you to level up on your Facebook pages this week. I want you to connect to the stories that are super vulnerable to you. And if you have the courage to talk about them, share them. Share challenge groups and why it's helped you maybe combat depression or anxiety, or it's helped you make a better marriage, or maybe it's stepped up your game just to be a better you every day. And don't forget to take all of your objections you hear this week and turn them into posts. Use what they're telling you to show them the way because they don't know the way, okay? So the reason why I actually became a coach was because my husband works for a local cable/phone company, Verizon, and his company went on strike, and it was 2 years ago. And my father also committed suicide, which you guys all know. And my dad worked for Verizon. So I had some triggers with me. So my husband is on strike. He doesn't have this steady income coming in. I'm working part-time as a hairdresser. And there's John, you guys. There's John.
Nobody wants to see me.
There he is. So he'll come in just a second. So I was working part-time, and I get very triggered by money. It's a trigger of mine because my dad died because of money. Okay. So I'm getting triggered because not only is it a money thing, but it's a Verizon thing. And the Verizon was tied with my father, right? So I had these things hitting me, and I could have retreated back into not working out, not drinking my Shakeology, not chiming into my challenge group that I was not running at that point. I was just being a part of a challenge group. And it was the first time I was at work, and we were getting like, I think it was like 2 months into a strike. And I finally felt this huge weight of the financial burden, and like the real scare of what the F are we going to do, and what's going to happen. And I'm a person who like freaks out. It's like, okay, if this has happened, we got to go do this, and we got to do that, and we got to stop doing this. We got to do that, and I go a little crazy, and I'll go, all right, we're gonna eat lunch every day at home. We're not eating out, and we're gonna cut back, and you're gonna go cut grass, and you're gonna whatever. Like I start spitting out all these things because it's a natural reaction to protect what's yours, right? So I was like, shit, I got to get a part-time job. Like he might have to get another job until things meet out. Like, what are we going to do? Like, I don't know. I knew we weren't going to be on the street, but I didn't want to have to ask my mom, hey mom, can I borrow the mortgage? Can I borrow the daycare? Can I borrow? And then I didn't want to pay back, you know? So I was sitting there, and I finally felt like this weight of the financial burden. And my coach, who is still my coach, Demetria Brown, which you guys, if you don't know, you will know soon and shortly. You know, she reached out to me, and she said, why don't you become a coach and start creating the business side of it? And I was like, I didn't really know there was a business side of it. I just knew it was this thing that got me to lose 30 pounds. I started to get really happy. I started to get really healthy. I started to create momentum, and I started to see the light back inside my heart again after tragedy. So that's really all I knew. And she presents this opportunity, and she's like, it takes work. It takes hard hustle. It takes grit, but you're already doing it. You don't have to let go of your health and wellness. And while your world is spiraling out of control for just a temporary shift, why don't you make this your constant? And that's something I also want you guys to make sure when you talk to challengers and they hit the cancellation button, I guarantee you they got 18 other things happening in their life. I have this, I have that, I can't concentrate on this right now. You have to point out to them and be very honest. They need it. Be like, you have to let go of your dieter's mentality. It's not a diet. This is your lifestyle. And as your job is out of control, you have a crappy boss, you know, shit's hitting the fan at your house. Why are you not making one thing constant, which is your health? And tell them, you say, I'm not trying to make you stay. You got to do what you got to do. But I want to plant that seed inside of you, because it makes no sense if you're going to take away your health during a stressful time that can physically hurt you. Right? Well, I can't afford it. My mortgage is going up $1,000. Okay, then you have to cut back on something else so you can keep this. Let's go look at the blueprint. What are we doing? What's happening? So I can get you to figure it out, right? So here I am coaching, and, you know, I got $30. My very first paycheck was $30, and I thought I hit the freaking lottery. I ran downstairs. I told you, I'm like, oh my God, I hit the lottery. This is great, you know, whatever. But the cool thing is, and this is where John's going to come in, is that we literally sat down, and I said to him, I said, what? I don't even remember what I said. I said, he's here, student. So I said to him, I was like, I said, what did I say? I said, I'm going to do this coaching thing. And John was always a supportive spouse. Okay. And the reason why he has been a supportive spouse is because you have to tell your husband or your partner why you're doing this. Like the vulnerable why. Okay. Because if you don't, a lot of husbands will get really mad that they see you on your computer every single day, on your phone every single day, and they're like, what are you doing? They have no clue what you're doing. So I think for us, did you ever feel that way?
No.
And what was like, and okay, so you never felt that way, but did you understand? John's never, let me just say this right now. He has never been a guy or a husband or a boyfriend ever in 21 years to be like, you're not doing this. You're crazy. I'm not supporting you. Never, never, you know, because that's not what your spouse should do. And I'm sorry, if there's any spouses out there that are not supporting you on what you want to do, I mean, what do you think? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, you're supposed to help each other, right?
right. So when you were on strike, and let's just kind of go through the story a little bit. Like this is like spontaneous talking right now. So it's like, I decide, I'm like, I'm going to pick up this coaching gig and I'm ready to do this. And you were like, what?
Well, at first I was like, well, what's the buy-in? Because there's always a buy-in with these kind of things. So I was skeptical. I was skeptical at first. I wasn't against it, but I wanted to know if you looked into it and if you, you know, aren't just jumping into something hoping that it's going to make you rich and, you know, whatever. There's a lot of stuff out there like that.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I asked you questions about it. I mean, you know, I'm supportive, but I'm not completely laid back either. I mean, I want to know too, you know. Just like you would want to know if I was starting a new thing, you would want to know about it.
Yeah, like I would definitely want to know, like, what are you doing? What are the benefits? What is it going to do for our family? And what do I have to do to support you type deal? So I think that's something that's really key that you talk to your significant other about, is sitting down with them and sharing. Because some people, I mean, they look at it and they're like, oh, she's just doing this other little extra thing, like, but she's on her computer and it's really pissing me off. She's not talking to my family. She's not communicating. She's not doing this. If you don't share what you're doing and saying like, hey, babe, I'm trying to bring home an extra $500 to $1,000 a month for our family. And when you see me on the computer, I'm not doing Candy Crush. I am talking to people and I'm not shooting the crap on my Facebook page. Because a lot of people think that. Because think about it, if you're down on your phone like this, they think that you're checked out, you're done, you're gone, you know? And is Scott next to you, Danielle?
Oh my God, the game is on right now.
Yes!
Oh, he's muted. Let the guy go. The game is on.
I was hiding him because I wanted to hear your side, John.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good to hear it. No, it's really good. It's really good. And
hey, I've done my part. Too. I've lost 4 inches, 35 pounds. I'm in better shape than I was when we met.
And he was skeptical at first too. He definitely was.
Scott's come alive, man. It's awesome to watch. It's awesome. It is awesome to watch. I love it. You guys are great. Huh?
My game is awesome to watch.
Yeah, go watch the game, man.
No, that's awesome. And he can watch the playback. He loves you anyways. He's going to give you flowers this week anyways. He is. Okay, so one thing for sure is that if you have a vision, you've got to share it with your significant other. You know what I mean? Like there was that time where like, I think, how long were you on strike? It was like almost.
It was a while.
It was bad. It was bad, you guys. It was really bad. We were getting a $200 a week paycheck from his union. $200 a week.
Oh
That's a strike pay though.
But it was no pay.
So, yeah, well, it happens.
It was no pay.
That's like the glorious life of a union worker.
But here's the best part. When John was supportive, you know where he was supportive at? In my health and wellness journey first. He saw me get up every single day and say, and it started with that bag of carrots that I tell you guys about. I had this bag of carrots in my hands and I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm tired. I felt this tug at my heart that I like had to do this. It wasn't coaching. I was having to get me better and happier. And so he never once said, oh my God, you're spending all this money on a shake. He never said it's crap powder. He never said anything that you hear all the time from other people.
Crack powder.
Crap.
Oh,
Powder.
others said crack
powder. And you know what's crazy is that he drinks Shakeology. He's a 2-year guy. He's been drinking it for 2 years straight. You know, so
I would share that.
You are. You have the container.
But I don't work out.
You don't have to work out. You're getting healthy, right? That's all that matters. You want to have a supportive spouse as a coach, okay? Bottom line, you want to have a supportive spouse as a coach. One thing that I did this year that was a pivotal shift, I think, so he could really not only understand it, but 100% feel to a point of what I felt. And that was he went to Summit with me. And that was a pivotal moment. And Danielle. We all drove together. And it was awesome. And Sharona's coming to Summit. Right? You keep your eye on the road.
Are they in a car?
Yeah, they just got back from Summit. They just got back from Super Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they're awesome. So it's really important that, you know, if you can bring your spouse, take them with you so they can share the journey. John got to witness the day that it was raining, and so did Danielle, and I'll never forget that was
when Danielle found her name on the wall.
Well, Danielle found her name on the wall. It was awesome. Out of thousands of Emerald coaches, we found her name, and we pointed up together, and just to watch you see that was like Christmas for me, because it was like you just there was something in you that was like, I don't know, that was a cool picture.
It was nice.
It was a really cool picture. And there was a shift for Danielle too. Like, it was just like she came back and she's like, I know my purpose. I know why. Like, I got it. And she's on fire ever since that point. But bringing your spouse is super important if you can, because they get to see you not at your computer. They don't get to see you working out. They get to see the whole big picture. And I think the beautiful thing is, now that John and I have got more and more involved in it, I told him, I was like, this is the year I really want to get involved. I want to understand the compensation plan. I want to understand how to rank advance. I want to understand how to create volume. I want to understand the business part of it, right? And some of it, I don't understand all the math. I'm not there yet. So this is why you tell your spouse what you're doing and why you're doing it and why you're so passionate for it. So this call was recorded. So if there is something that you can say that's profound, that can truly help.
Profound?
Yes, I want your wisdom. Like, what can you say to the new coaches or any coach that's a female that might be hesitant to tell their husband? They're scared for whatever, or some women are scared.
I don't understand that.
I don't understand it either.
I don't understand why.
But Danielle,
scared.
Yes, please. So, what would you have wanted to know earlier that would have helped you be more okay with everything? Like, what would have helped you out?
The only thing I was skeptical about at first was she jumps to things. She'll see something and fall in love, and it's like, gotta have it, doing that, definitely perfect, go all in. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you gotta take a step back and look into it and realize what it is, or, you know, look into it a little bit more and see what's there and what's not. So that's really all I wanted to do, was definitely perfect.
Got you, sorry.
What are you doing? Oh my gosh, there's cameras everywhere in our house.
I know.
What was I saying?
You were a skeptic at first, and I jumped the gun.
Yeah, you know, before you go all in, you know, you want to realize what you're signing up for, and that's all. That's all I really wanted to know was, you know, what's the buy-in? What's the buy-in? Is there
pyramid scheme?
Yeah. Oh, definitely pyramid scheme. I mean, if you Google Beachbody is, one of the things that comes up with a cult.
Well, you can't.
If you just say Beachbody is, yeah, that's what it says. Well, you want me to be honest? That's a fact.
Well,
that's not even an opinion.
I love the cult personally.
Right, and it probably is to those that are on the outside looking in. Somebody might say that, somebody being negative, obviously, but you know. But yeah, I'd seen infomercials in the middle of the night when I wake up or I'm up late or whatever. I see the infomercials, so I already knew about what was it, the P90X or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'd seen the stuff before, but I'd never really paid attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I just wanted to know a little bit more about it. That's all. But I've always been supportive. I mean, if you want to do it, and when I met you, you were at Barty, and then you went to
Hair school.
No, before that.
Oh, I went to Fidelity and Trust.
You went to mortgage industry.
And then I jumped everything that I've done.
You wanted to be a hairstylist.
Yeah.
And,
But you know what though too? Let me tell you that though. As much as I jumped the gun, something that I've also learned too about myself is I trust the shit out of my gut. That's the thing. And the other thing too is he's just making sure that I'm not, it may appear that I'm jumping, but if I know, for me, I've learned that if I know it's right, I'm going. I'm done. Like, I don't need convincing. I don't need to research. I don't need to do all that some people do.
I'll do it for her.
And he will do it. I'm like this. I'm in. Done. You don't have to sell me. I'm in. I'm good. Done. And if I feel like it's wrong, I'll leave. That's just how I am. But I think for John, he just really needs to know more information. He needed to know, like, okay, is it a pyramid scheme? Is she going to get screwed in the process? I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I believe that she wants to do it, but I don't want anything bad to happen. That's all that was. You know what I mean? And what was really cool was my coach, Demetria Brown, one night got on the phone and literally spent 2 hours with us on a call together. Demetria is very knowledgeable. She knows the insides and outs of Beachbody. She really does know it. She really, really, really does. And she's really a book of information. So I could ask her every single question and she had an answer for me. And it gave me more closure. It gave me more peace. And I also trusted Demetria too, because Demetria has been a friend of mine since high school. And I didn't believe she was going to try to get me into something that could have been bad. That's the other thing too. So if someone's inviting you into this opportunity, you also have to say, but I really do trust what my friend is telling me. I don't think she's going to screw me over. And I don't think she's a mom of 2. I don't think she's going to be getting us all involved in something horrible. But with your spouse, you have to connect. You have to share. You have to talk. But you have to be vulnerable. Like, you have to share why. Like, I have sat down many of nights with you and said, if this didn't come in my life, I don't think I would have been able to get past a lot of my dad's stuff. And I think you watched me come back to life from it.
Oh, definitely.
You know, like, that's a big part. Like, the lights were on, but they weren't bright, you know, and I needed my light to be bright again. And again, I kept feeling that tug at my heart that this was what I needed to do. And I didn't care. Like, John's like, how are you getting excited for $30? You know? And it's like, he's like, what? You know? And I'm like, because I know where this is going to take me.
Well, and you got $30 for just sharing the fact that you found something that worked for you, and other people are in the same, you know, very similar to what you were, you know. Yeah. Looking for that answer, and you found it, so you're just sharing information.
And that's the other thing too. You know, he knew from the get-go, he would watch all my posts and be like, Stacey, you're all over my Facebook newsfeed. Holy shit. Like, it's really? All over the place. Really? That's all I see is Stacey Shiflett, Stacey Brook, you know, Stacey Brook Fit, da-da-da-da. But he actually was reading my posts.
I wanted to unfriend her.
No, you didn't. No, but what he saw was he was reading my posts. And so probably, I don't even know, he probably read as many as I think he read. You know, I don't think he's read any of them in my mind.
I like to work out.
He likes to watch me work out from the back. That's what he really is trying to say to you.
No.
You're lying.
Not specifically.
Mm-hmm. But it's true. It's like, you know, you just have to go with your gut. You have to tell your spouse what you're doing and take them to Summit and share with them everything. I mean, now here I am, you know, going into my, you know, 3rd year of Beachbody. As of Tuesday will be officially 3 years that I've done Challenger to coach to everything. And I'm running a call, and here's John on a call sharing what the husband's perspective is and why they should be supportive, and just let your spouse do it. But make sure they're not in harm's way. That's a good spouse. That's really a spouse's job. I just want to go do what you need to do, but I don't want you to be in harm's way. So let me just make sure you're not in harm's way, and then go do you. It's no different than us being parents. You know, it's no different than your kid saying, I want to do this. Well, let me go look real quick. Let me check it out. And then you feel, go ahead. It's really no different, you know. And then the beauty of the whole coaching experience is that it strengthens everything in your life. It really does. I mean, I know it's strengthened this whole household. I know it's helped us.
Yeah.
In every aspect. It's made, like, I talk more to John than I have ever done before. You know, I share things. I work just as hard as he does. And I never gave myself props because this guy works like the most ridiculous hours. And sometimes I always would say I'm the single mom without the single mom paycheck. And that's the other thing that I'm tired of. I don't want to be the single mom without the single mom paycheck. Does that make sense? I don't want to do that anymore. I want to have him look at Verizon and be like, babe, it doesn't matter. You're just working because we need insurance. You're just working because you need insurance. I don't want him to feel like he has to go out and work all these hours. Because truth be told, you guys, my job as a hairstylist, I'm commission. I don't get an hourly rate. So last week, to be perfectly honest, sucked. I had hardly anybody in my chair at all last week, which meant my paycheck didn't do good. So I had to look at John and say, last week I said, I just want you to know you're going to have to work a little bit longer and a little more hours because I couldn't pull it.
And I said, sell some challenge packs.
Yeah.
Girl.
But it makes me upset because it makes me upset because I don't want to do that anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to go, hey babe, I couldn't pull it in this week. I'm really sorry. Like, I tried. And you know what I do when I don't have anybody at the salon? I bring my backpack and I take my ass to Starbucks and I sit down and I work the shit out of my business. And he knows that. He will find me and go, where are you? And I go, I'm at Starbucks. You didn't have anybody today? No, I didn't. And I'm not going to sit here and not get paid. I'm going to go try to get paid. And I'm going to sit and connect at the Starbucks. I put, for the very first time last week, my business card on the wall at Giant and at the Starbucks. And it felt like I was so scared to do it. But I was like, if I don't take a chance, then I can't try to be a Melanie Metro. Why can't I be a Melanie Metro? Why can't I?
I'm rooting for you.
Me too. Because I want him to retire. I want to go on trips. I want to have us wake up every Saturday with each other. I don't want to live the way society has taught us to live. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. So you will find me, and Danielle has seen, you all have seen my Insta stories. I go to the Germantown Starbucks. You can find me. If I'm not at Sheer Reflections, I'm at Starbucks. And I will sit there and I will work. I have become friends with the regulars, which is kind of funny. But it's like, I don't even care. Do what you have to do for your families. But I'll tell you what, even if I got another $30 more and another $30 more and another $30 more, I'd still park my ass at Starbucks. Because what I want is when my daughter gets on the school bus for the very first time, I'm going to be home. I'm going to be retired. That's my goal. And if I don't show up and if I don't have him having my back, it's not going to work. It's a team effort with your spouse, but it's also a team effort with us. It's a lot of us doing little things. So that's the beauty of this business. It's a lot of us doing little things. And, you know, Scott should share some stuff. Like, Scott, what have you seen?
His game is on.
He's okay. Scott, just, you can go real quick and you have to go. But listen, Scott will share. Scott, what have you seen since Danielle has become what have you seen evolve? Whatever you want to share. What have you seen evolve? You get emotional, watch.
I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me.
Okay, so like since Danielle started, okay, all the things that have like evolved, good things, maybe better feelings, more date nights, more openness. You lost weight, you got healthy, you got happy. Like, what have some pivotal things like been like, damn, this has happened because we did this?
I mean, you know, the biggest thing I think that I've noticed is she has a greater sense of purpose.
Yeah.
You know, before you know, we lived a very monotonous life. You know, I did what I did for my work. You know, I have a weird schedule. There's flexibility there, but there's also like weird hours of demand. And, you know, she just kind of, you know, she went to work every day. She'd pick a kids up, she'd make them dinner, you know, play with them, and then put them to bed, and then, you know, go to bed herself, and then, you know, rinse, repeat. So now, you know, with this whole thing, she has a better sense of purpose. You know, there's a drive there, and a sense of self-worth that, and then not that she didn't before, but, you know, there's definitely a little bit of a sparkle and and an aura about her that, you know, she's more than just the mom that picks up her kids every day after school. You know what I mean? And as far as our relationship's concerned, you know, I was cynical. You know, I was like, okay, this is the candle making thing that she.
Because I took up like many things like you did. You know, like
Right,
I'm gonna make candles. I'm gonna do scrapbooking, and you know, like, and then I start, stop.
Right, but you know, she stuck with this, and I'm very proud of her. You know, and I was very cynical at first, so I was like, okay, you know, hey, you know what? I'm not going to stand in your way. Do your thing. Do you see what happens? And then, you know, after Summit, you know, I saw something different, and, you know, and then I bought it, and I said, you know what, this would be a lot more fun to do it with her rather than just be a spectator. And, you know, instead of being supportive as in, all right, do your thing. Now it's like, you know, do your thing, you know, and help me too. And it really has, you know, I mean, again, you know, all the results that I've been able to achieve, there's no way I could have done this on my own discipline. Like, not a chance.
I think that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that's like super important. It's a lot of big changes too.
Yeah.
And Scott's like, I mean,
you look sexy.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Smoking all his meat on prep on Sunday prep. Not that. It's gross. I didn't say that. You guys are the dirty ones.
My meat is famous.
Ew,
that's right. That's right. You just be proud. You gotta watch the game. You guys are dirty.
You're the one that said it.
This is not appropriate.
This is PG. You just made it R.
You're the one that said it.
Well, it might have come across that way, but it certainly was not meant that way. So anyways, you guys, I'm so glad you guys were on the call, and I love that Sharona went to Super Sunday and she took a friend, and her friend Kelly fell in love with it, which is amazing. So cool. We can't see you. Look, we're all going like this. Hi.
Okay. Hi. Can we take a picture?
Yeah, take a picture. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us when you're ready.
And go.
Did you do it? Do I look okay? Look, she's checking.
Awesome. Love it.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. And John will probably pop on another team call, but hopefully like that just shared with you a little bit of insight that, you know, the one takeaway you can do from this is just tell your spouse the why. You gotta tell them the why and invite them in to share and tell them, like, this is what I'm going for. If I get to Emerald, this is what it can give us. If I get to Diamond, this is what it can give our family. So share those things. Get in the Coach Online office and read them together. So then you have a goal. And then you get with your coach and you create the plan. As long as your husband knows that, like, what your goal is, you know, that's what's going to happen. So that's awesome. She said you two are why Scott started supporting.
What?
She said you two are why Scott started supporting. Love you guys.
Oh.
We're so famous.
You're famous.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Leave me out of it.
Never. But anyways, you guys everybody here is going to Summit, which is awesome. And I think Scott's going this year, right? Yes? Okay, good. And John's going too. So we're all in. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have our big team dinner together. And you're going as a Diamond. And so is Sharona. We have to look into that qualification.
I might have to fly down or fly over on like Friday or something because of work or something.
Well, you just get there, okay?
You just get there,
yeah. You just get there.
I'll pick you up in the minivan.
Yeah. Yeah. They're frozen. Yeah. We'll pick you up in the minivan. All right, guys, have a great night. The call's recorded. Have a wonderful evening, and we will catch up this week, okay? Bye, everybody.